Hey guys, I'm John and this is my third and final installment of building a wooden deck in the middle of nowhere. Now, if you've been following the series, on the first two videos you would have seen me and my buddies get together, load up our vehicles and drive to a remote location to build a lookout deck against a hill. On day 2, 3 and 4, we managed to establish a foundation for the deck and build the deck frame. At this point we found ourselves in a situation where we only had 2 days left to finish the project, which wasn't much at all, but the guys' spirits were lifted by the excitement of seeing the project completed.
Okay, we are officially a day behind. We were supposed to be finished yesterday and we haven't even fixed one decking plank.
On day 5, our first objective was fixing the frame to the slab, seeing as the slab had had a few days to cure. Then we needed to fix the handrails, the roof write-ups and the decking planks that has all been prepped so they could be treated.
All game.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Break!
That should really become carried on.
To save costs on the upright, instead of using solid beams, we used similar lumber than was used to build the deck frame. We then sandwiched 2 planks over the frame while adding spaces of the same thickness towards the center of the post to increase its structural integrity. While fixing the decking, we used bolts to ensure uniform spacing. In an ideal situation, the roof posts would also be planted in the ground, but we simply didn't have the time for it, so we had to brace it as best we could. We really didn't have much energy left to keep walking up and down the hill, so we used our multi-tools to size the decking planks around the posts. We were running out of time and still needed to treat the deck so it could dry overnight. But before we could start, we needed to finish the handrail and the roof post. By the time we were ready to start treating, the sun was setting, so we had no option but to make a makeshift work light so we could finish up treating the deck.
Section I'll do middle and she can do that side.
We worked until it became difficult to see, but still managed to get everything treated as planned.
I don't have a light, so I'm assuming. Yeah, I can't make it brighter, I'm afraid.
On the last day, everything was treated and all that was left was to install the roof. But we were running out of time because we also needed to clean up and pack so we could leave early the next morning. So we decided on installing a very simple roof that I would later need to go back to go install additional battens and web braces to. The main intention behind the roof was to protect from the harsh sun. I would also at some stage like to close up the sides to provide a more sheltered effect, but because this would increase wind resistance, it can only be done when the roof has been adequately braced. Because the posts were all badly warped, I used ratchet straps tied to rocks to pull everything straight before fixing. We added a small pitch to the roof so rainwater would run towards the back, where I would later be fitting a gutter. And after knocking a few temporary roof sheets in place, we were ready to take the deck for a spin. And with that, the deck was complete, and it didn't look half bad considering that no one in the group had ever built a deck before, not to mention the extreme weather conditions and working with very limited resources. But the guys pulled together, they set themselves a goal, and through hard work they managed to achieve it. And for that I take my hat off to each and every one of them.
You're gonna wonder why I'm
Before we start building, I wanted to change.
okay, man, it's okay.
Now I would love to hear you guys' input on this project, so if you have anything to add, drop a comment below. Should I do projects like this with my buddies more often? And with that comes the end of the video. The next thing for me is to start setting up my new workshop. So if you want to see that, remember to subscribe. As always, thanks so much for watching. Till next time, cheers.